But church, we need to look at it. Are we just consumers in the church?
Right.
Or are we producers? When God's called you into the kingdom, He's called you to produce.
Amen.
Now, not all of you are going to produce the same. But know this, you're expected to produce. Because it said right up above that about those that, and the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches and the lust of other things entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. Hey, the seed was planted in them. Why aren't they producing? Because other things have gotten in the way, and they become the zero crowd.
Yes.
They like to consume everything. Oh, and then maybe they show up for church every Sunday. And maybe they make sure that that they shake everybody's hand and they smile, but they're not really producing. See, God wants us to not only be consumers, He wants us to consume His Word. Why? He said, read my Word. He said, hide my Word in your heart that you might not sin against me.
Right.
But don't just leave it in there. You hide it in your heart so that it's there for you, but then you open it up and give it to somebody else. See, now, if all you were thirsty in here and this was all the water we had, and all the water we was going to get for the next day, well, that'd be how long it would take me to preach that if I went through all that. But if I just stood up here and consumed it all myself, and knowing that you were thirsty and you were needing a drink, now how would that be? How would that look? How would that make you feel? See, you've got what they need.
That's right.
They're starving for that living water. You're standing there consuming it. How do I know that? He said your belly, in your belly. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4:38.
Amen. Go ahead and read it there, sis. You got it there? Read it.
Behold, he that believeth on the Lord, the word says, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
Yes.
Mm. You know what our problem is? We like to put a dam around it.
Right.
Don't want it to flow. We just want to consume it. I'm going to heaven. You ain't. Nah, 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 nah. You can just starve to death, thirst to death. Nah, 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 nah. See, that's the attitude that it would be if I wasn't willing, and I knew you needed, and I wasn't willing to share it with you. I've got to be willing to share. You've got to be willing to share. That's what Jesus was trying to get us to understand. Yeah, you consume. We're all consumers. In God's house, we're all consumers. And it's not a bad thing to be a consumer. But it's bad when you never are a producer. You've got to be willing to produce. You've got to be willing to help. I heard a preacher preaching on people that worry.